Hi, Forest Grove families. I am doing this as a video in addition to the email because it was a request of a parent. So here we go. So the first thing on my list of things is something that you need to do. So in my email, there is a link. You need to choose what you think you're going to want to do with your child second quarter. So they're going to be some kind of rearranging necessary to accommodate, because there are some teachers that won't be coming back and some kids are going to be out probably at least to the second quarter or even further. So we need to make sure we have the numbers correct. So please go to the website link. It is right at the very top where it says important for you. And I'm looking at a copy of the email. So I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. So make sure that you do that. That is really, really important, because we need to make sure that we have the resources and the teachers to accommodate the arrangement of the classes. There may be some changes in the classes. So the first thing is about computers. So by now I've contacted all of you by phone. I've spoken to almost every single one of you. Some of you I've just left a voice message because you didn't answer. And thank you for those of you. Most of you have actually called me back. There are still some of you that I've not heard from. So in the next couple of weeks, they're going to be putting these devices together for our kids. I'm just getting a jump on this because I want to make sure that on day one, every single one of my students has their own device. So Worcester Public School has enough at this point that your child doesn't have to share with a sibling and doesn't have to share with you. There are also a few hotspots available. And those hotspots would be used for, obviously, for people who don't have internet at all. But also, there are a handful of my families. There are 4 or 5 people on the internet at once. And if you need a hotspot, let me know. It might help with the connectivity issue. Your kid should have a laptop, a desktop, or a Chromebook. Some kids were using Kindle. Some kids were using their phones. Some kids were using their gaming stations. Those aren't considered appropriate for school. There are features that are lost. So please make sure that that they have what they need. And you can either call me. My numbers are going to be at the bottom of the email. So you can give me a call, send me a text, email me, or call Forest Grove, and they'll make sure that the name's on the list. If I've already spoken to you, your child's name is on the list if you said that they needed Additionally, one. If you could, make sure that your child has a set of headphones with a microphone, if you could possibly do that. I have already started a Donors Choose, which is basically a place where teachers beg for stuff for their classroom, and the address is at the bottom of the page if you want to donate. But it's especially in houses where there are multiple kids, they need to have some kind of sense of quiet and a calm place for them to work. So thank you for that, and we'll continue. Second thing. So they're still trying to figure out the exact schedule. What we do know is that your child's going to start school on September 15th. So most kids have access to their general schedule now on their student portal. If for some reason they can't access it, and sometimes that happens, either they forgot their password or there's just been something funky that goes on, just have them send me a note and I can reset their password. So on that site is just the general schedule for the year. There is not a daily schedule at this point. Now, if your child is taking algebra or pre-algebra, then they are going to be taking statistics as their enrichment instead of a numeracy class, which is really, really good. Your kids are already really good at math. They don't need to be going over those basics. So that's a really good change in the schedule. So here's what we do know. Okay, so everyone is remote for the first 10 weeks. They're going to revisit the numbers and all of that after they'll be doing it during the first quarter, but they'll make a decision at that point what's going to happen. And so they're thinking that it's probably going to be some kind of hybrid, or even if we're completely face-to-face. So make sure you do that. Make sure you do that that model selection, if you've not done that, if you would please. So here's what we know. 10 weeks, completely remote. We know that the classes are a combination of synchronous, which means that we will be teaching your child live. It will be a combination of synchronous and asynchronous, which means that the teacher might upload a video. They could be working on a project or something. So they should be in synchronous class twice a week for each subject, and then asynchronous for the last. On Fridays, there's a project, virtual tours, some kind of additional thing, which I don't have any details about yet. When I know, you'll know. And then the last thing, then the last thing, which I'm really excited about, is that at the end of last year, I asked my families for feedback. And so with that feedback after the mess of 2020, two of the most consistent things that came back as feedback from you all, and thank you for those of you that gave me feedback. The first one was that you found it difficult to contact the teachers if you needed to. And the second thing was that you were unsure what your kid was supposed to be doing. Now, I joke in the email because they knew, because they did. They knew. Everything was on Google Classroom for every class. So they knew what they were supposed to do. But, a lot of kids didn't do it because they were told it didn't count. This fall, it counts. So what I did is I designed a feedback. Now, I am not a computer software designer by any stretch of the imagination or a pro at this, but I did put together a website, which I hope is going to be helpful. There will be a homepage, parent portal, student portal, and then there's like a calming area. So in response to the feedback on this website, you will have the school calendar, which is the Worcester Public School calendar. The big vacation dates, the days off dates, the end of the quarter dates, and all of that stuff. So there's going to be an icon with a link to that. There will be, there's already a link that I will fill in when we get it, the monthly schedule. So I'll be changing that as we go along. So when the school gives out our monthly schedule, and there will also be I'll put a link also for the principal's newsletter that goes out. So you'll be able to access it. You'll be able to access it there. I know that sometimes the number of phone calls that are coming in from downtown is a little bit overwhelming. So that will be there. Additionally, what's going to be there is one of those things that was a big thing of feedback last year was that you didn't know what your kids were supposed to do. So each student is in our cluster anyway has a class color, and if I had your kid last year, the colors are going to be the same unless your kid moved classes, but most stayed in the same class, I think. And so once you know that the class color, it's the same for all the subjects. So that's the same. The really great thing is that we're all using Google Classroom, and each of your kids has a school calendar. On that calendar will tell you what is due. So every kid in, say, the green class is going to have the same assignments. And so you'll be able to click on that calendar and you'll see what their assignments are. Now, I'm not sure if you click to that the assignment's going to open up for you. Like if there's a document there that they have, I'm not sure. I haven't really figured that out yet. Let's see what else. Homework assignments will be there. The website link, it's a work in progress. It's under my name in the email. Okay. I'm going to leave it there in the signature address all the time. So you'll be able to see it. Once the website is completed, now this is where I need you to do something for me, please. If you could click on that link, I just want you to scroll through it, take a look at it, see, is there something that doesn't work well? There are some links that aren't even there yet. I just have placeholders. But does it make sense to you? Is the usability good? Is there something missing? Or have I lost my mind? Because sometimes that happens. Once I get this so that it's in pretty good shape and I have all the stuff that you all want, I'm going to make it so that it's viewable as a phone app. And I put in my email, don't be too impressed because someone's going to have to help me do that, but yay me. So if there's anything missing, let me know. And then I can fix it and I'll send you the links to all of the formats. I know that this is a ton of work and there's so much for us to do, but we're going to do this and we're going to do this together. Okay. One of the questions that I did have is if you wanted to have a Zoom parent meeting before we start, I can do that. I can take your questions and then make another video and answer all the questions if you want to do that. Whichever way works best for you is fine with me. So at the bottom of the email, you will see all of my contact information. So my school email obviously is the way to contact me. You go to the website, you click it, there it is. I'm not putting my numbers on the website. So I have 2 numbers. I'm supposed to use my Google Voice number, which is what I use typically when I text your kids. But I always forget to use it when I call parents. So I've put the 2 numbers at the bottom of the email, put them both in your phone so that you can either ignore me or you can pick it up because you know it's me, either way. And I think that's about it for now. So I know it's a lot of information. We got this. We got this. So let me know what your feedback is. And I look forward to working with all of you again this year. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.